enchiladas and the teriyaki too. I even like the chicken if the sauce is not too. And that man, oh man, ow, yeah. And they sure are fine. Woo. Gotta have it. Give me something now.
All right, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to another We've Read the Document subscriber live stream. I'm your host, John Brisson. That's right. Tonight we continue our Tucker Carlson expose. This is part 8. Tucker Carlson in that old new age horseshoe. So here, a good friend of mine who I will not name and I were having a discussion. What about them pictures of Tucker Carlson at all them Deadhead concerts he's supposed to went to? All them Deadhead concerts. Okay? And I was going to Google, see if I could find a picture of Tucker Carlson and the Grateful Dead. And sure enough, look how young good old Tucker Swanson McNear Carlson. Look how young he is. As in, there's a Jerry Garcia. Look at that. Grateful Dead. It's LSD. Smoking some doobies with my brothers, the Doobie Brothers. Yeah, good old Kabbalah bracelet wearing Tucker Carlson, the weak Protestant that he is. And he will do whatever he possibly can to fulfill the New World Order beast system agenda. Tucker Carlson scorned for Trump revealed in court papers. A defamation lawsuit is revealing scornful behind-the-scenes opinions by Fox News figures about Donald Trump, including Tucker Carlson's text message declaring, "I hate him passionately." Carlson's private text comments were revealed in court papers at virtually the same time the former president was hailing the Fox News host on social media. Horseshoe. Trump said he was doing a great job presenting experts of U.S. Capitol security video of the January 6, 2021 insurrection. Though Carlson used the video to produce a false narrative of the attack. Documents are coming to light at the time of increased tension between Trump and Fox, the dominant media force appealing to conservatives as he campaigns to regain the presidency. Voting machine manufacturer Dominion Voting Systems is suing Fox News for $1.6 billion. Claiming the network broadcast false claim that the company was responsible for fraud in the 2020 presidential election. The case is to go trial this spring, and a trove of documents released to Fox Actions after the election are being publicly released in advance. A common theme emerging from the internal documents and deposition is that the Fox executives and hosts doubted the election claims being peddled by Trump and his allies, but aired to emphasize them anyway. Fox was growing concerned about a decline in viewership as Trump's supporters turned away from the network as they correctly called Joe Biden the presidential winner in Arizona on election night. The exchanges include Carlson's text conversation on January 4th, 2021, with an unknown person in which the primetime host expressed anger towards Trump. Carlson said that we are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights, and that I truly cannot wait. Carlson said he had doubt that there was fraud in the 2020 election, but that Trump and his lawyers have discredited their case and media figures like himself. That is infuriating, absolutely enrages me. Now, I believe that this is a dog and pony show. Here's a dog and here's a pony, okay? Now, these text messages are real or not, you decide. We see a lot of doubt being thrown into the comment sections of MAGA people that still back Trump, saying that these are fake. They look odd. The text messages look odd in how they're released in the deposition, okay? And I'm not saying they are not real or they're not real. But I'll say this. This is WWE. This is a work. This is kayfabe. Even if they're real or not real, it's kayfabe. And you're being sold a narrative. All right? You're getting locked in. You're getting locked in because on both sides, the horseshoe effect. You're watching the externalization of the hierarchy in action here. Okay? You have the left side of the horseshoe. Well, they're going to see this, right? They're going to see that Carlson detests Trump, but he still shills their bullcrap anyway. And if that's true, and this isn't a dog and pony show, then right off the bat, people should en masse disregard anything Tucker Carlson has to say. In his private life, and what he feels about Donald Trump and January 6th and the 2020 election is different than what he portrays on the Mockingbird media. Tucker's no different. If you think the CIA controls our media, United States government controls our media, Tucker is no different than the woman he helped platform and start, Rachel Maddow, on MSNBC. Now go back through my previous exposés on Tucker Carlson, and you'll see exactly what I say is truthful. The man is an elitist. The man is a Swanson by marriage. The man is a con artist. The man was rejected by the CIA, just like his CNN counterpart, Anderson Cooper, a.k.a. Anderson Vanderbilt. They're cut from the same cloth. Okay? Simply put. And the sooner you realize that, the better. So on the other side, Tucker's the hero. Tucker's the hero because Kevin McCarthy finally did what was right, and he released a January 6 footage, okay, of the January 6 mixed event, January theater, whatever you want to call it, okay? And, Tucker's showing, that the MAGA shaman was being led around by the Capitol Police. Or Ray Epps lied in his testimony to the largely Democrat January 6 committee that, he had left the January 6 mixed event when he had not. There's evidence that he was still there when he claimed that he had left. The so-called alleged federal agent operative Ray Epps. Okay. So I'm not going to say that stuff isn't true. But that doesn't make Tucker Carlson our guy. What he is presenting to you is what the world order wants him to present to you, and what they want you to believe. Their propaganda is not going to be 100% lies. It's not palatable. Might be a ratio, might be 50% truth, 50% lies, 60% lies, 40% truth, maybe as high as even 70% lies, 30% truth. But if it's 100% lies and zero truth, you're going to spit it out of your mouth. Most of the time. I don't think they would be that bold. Addressing Trump's 4 years as president, Carlson said, we're all pretending we've got a lot to show for it, but admitting what a disaster it's been is too tough to digest. But come on, there really isn't an upside to Trump. Another text message more than a month earlier, Carlson denigrated Trump's business abilities. Trump's talent, he said, is to destroy things. He could easily destroy us if we play wrong. Publicly, Fox viewers heard very different views, which is 2017 exchange with colleague Greg Gutfeld, in which Carlson agreed that Trump was the greatest president there will ever be. On a show in 2019, Carlson said Trump had fought as hard as he could to make sure everyone in America was treated equally under law. You say what you really believe in public, Carlson said then. You're an American citizen. That is your right. Trump could lose in 2020, he added, but he'll generally be recognized as a great president. Horseshoe. So let's play some for Tucker Carlson's stream. Okay? Let's play a little bit of Tucker. Play a little of Tucker. He's making that, he's got to go take a bathroom break face he's famous for. Okay? Kabbalah bracelet wearing Tucker. Friend of Rabbi Shmuley Boteach, the blasphemer, Tucker. Friend of the ultra-Zionist Council for National Policy member and convicted felon Jack Abramoff, Tucker. Friend of David Brock and James Alphonsus, that Tucker. Comet Pizza Ping Pong, 2 separate restaurant reviews. 2 separate ones. That Tucker. Let's play.
People who are telling the truth are calm. They don't wave their hands around and make wild accusations. They don't need to do that. It's enough to say what they know. And if honest people turn out to be wrong about something they have claimed, they'll admit it. They don't double down on false. They made a mistake, and that's okay. It's not like they're claiming to be God. Liars behave differently. Liars are touchy, sometimes to the point of hysteria. They're hiding something. That's the whole point of lying. And they're worried you're going to find out what it is. Liars are fragile because over time, lying makes you weak and afraid. It has the same effect on countries, by the way. We're living through one of those clarifying moments, which actually we're thankful for, where we're learning exactly who the liars are. On Monday, we showed you unreleased videotape from January 6th. That tape proved that 3 of the most important claims our leaders have made about that day were untrue. Their claims were lies. We were not shocked to discover that. We knew there was a reason that congressional leaders had been hiding the tape and that reporters in Washington weren't demanding to see it. They were lying to us, obviously. That's why you hide things. But what was actually surprising, what we can't quite get over even now, is how they were.
Now this is the grand unveiling. This is the great awakening. I should play a clip of Alex Jones saying it is. But I was going to save that for the next Beast in the Harlot series. But it would go along with what Tucker's saying here. So maybe I'll go look for that clip.
Responded when they were caught lying. They didn't seem embarrassed. They didn't apologize. They weren't even curious to learn more about what actually happened on January 6th. Let's see the tape. No, they didn't want to see it. They exploded in rage. And then, as liars tend to do, they doubled down. They told the same lies they've been caught telling, but with even greater aggression this time. Shut up, it's midnight, they said as the sun rose behind them. Who acts like that? Well, sociopaths do. And in this case, the sociopaths turned out to be both Democrats and Republicans. The commitment to lying in Washington is far deeper and more bipartisan even than we realize when we follow this stuff for a living. Now, you sometimes hear people say that the whole partisan system is an illusion and that underneath the manufactured debates, the leaders on both sides are in fact secretly united in a common love of money and power and the deception required to get them. And honestly, we could never really bring ourselves to believe that. It's just too dark. But now we.
Okay, so I just wanted to set this up, okay? So this is Tucker talking about the January 6th evidence that he supposedly got from McCarthy, right? Okay. And so, he's QAnon shaman, Republicans are outraged, and so he's discussing all this. People are turning in. They got to see the footage. They got to see the breaking story, okay? Record ratings about what truly happened on January 6th. What's the footage? What's the footage that McCarthy allowed to be released, okay? So they're watching this, right? They're watching all of this, okay? And so, then what does Tucker do, right? What does Tucker do?
Life insurance.
Saying things that are really interesting, not rehashes at all. In fact, he's come out with a bunch of.
So he starts talking about Trump's new proposals, freedom cities, the execution of drug dealers, Christians. I'm sorry, drug dealers, So we're back for the breaking. Just the breaking news. So people are watching this. People are watching on bated breath. So what's Tucker do?
Proposals that were so interesting that we thought we would bring them to you. We've asked Fox's Kevin Cork to bring us the story. Hey, Kevin.
Evening, Tucker. A little change of pace story for you tonight. Now, to hear President Trump tell it, a second bite at the presidential apple could net a quantum leap.
Second bite at the presidential apple? I don't think anybody's ever. What apple are we talking about? Apple from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? And a quantum leap. Remember, Trump called this a quantum leap.
Leap in the American standard of living. Those just some of the comments made by the former president on social media platform Truth Social today. He said the American future would be much, much brighter with him at the helm with, quote, brand new.
Much brighter with him at the helm, huh?
New cities, another baby boom, and a push to develop Flying cars, a doff of the fedora perhaps to the Jetsons of old. Now, a Trumpian future could include a contest to develop 10 freedom cities on federal lands. And that would happen with grants, he says, awarded to those who come up with the best city plans. It's all an effort to reopen the great frontier. He also wants to develop vertical takeoff and landing vehicles for families and individuals. He says that's an effort to outmaneuver the Chinese and other countries that are developing such technologies. He wants to revitalize rural industries to include a manufacturing renaissance.
So they just played the leaked, leaked. They claimed some. I've seen the narratives of people trying to put it leaked, but the footage that was released by Kevin McCarthy through Congress that was given only to Tucker, directly to Tucker, and only to Tucker. Okay. So now they're pivoted to the next story, which is the Great Awakening Trump. Okay. The Trump is the savior of humanity. Okay. And what are they going to pivot from there?
And more incentives to
problem, reaction, solution.
Attract younger families to those cities. And these are all important to him. He also wants a baby boom. He wants to encourage it with federal grants authorized by Congress to support growing families. And finally, he wants a national beautification campaign to rid the country of ugly buildings and to revitalize parks and, of course, ensure a pristine environment. Now, to be fair, the president's ideas were just that, just ideas, which is to say they were long on optimism and can-do spirit, but relatively short on details. But as has often been said, a good idea often begins with a very single thought. Tucker.
Kevin Cork, thanks so much. More babies, prettier buildings, cleaner parks. Well, those are achievable goals. Ones would improve everyone's life. So as we
Tucker has dead look at his dead eyes after he just says that. Look at his dead eyes. Look, the man. I'm not saying they're soulless people, okay? But the man has bring back the Tartaria buildings of old. Look at dude. The man has tempered down his conscience and his soul so much. Okay, look into his. You can look and tell.
Thanks so much. More babies, prettier buildings.
That is a dead man walking. That's a dead man inside right there.
Buildings, cleaner parks. Well, those are achievable goals. Ones would improve everyone's life.
Once we improve everyone's life, ha ha ha. That's achievable goals. Once we improve everybody's life. Oh, boy. And people look to this man as some sort of truth teller. This man is possessed by demons. I mean, I'm not the only one that has the spiritual awareness to see that, right? I know. A lot of people in this channel are able to see it, okay? But, I mean, that wasn't demonic. I don't know what is.
So, as we told you, we sat down yesterday with Russell Brand, the comedian, actor, and now kind of a public intellectual, for about an hour and a half on our show, Tucker Carlson Today.
So a Kabbalist speaks to a Kabbalist. It was like when Tucker Carlson had Alex Stein, Primetime 99 on. Kabbalist speaking to a Kabbalist. This is part 2 of Kabbalists speaking to Kabbalists.
Okay. We want to share more of it tonight. In particular, Brand spent a lot of time thinking...
And of course, that is the craziest... Look, Russell Brand looks like he's about to kill somebody. He looks like he's literally about to murder a man. Remember when I played the clip of John Kenneth Blackwell when the guy was interviewing him about the death of Michael Connell and CMP Kingmaker John Kenneth Blackwell looked like he was going to murder him, gave him the murder eyes, like he was going to murder a man because he likely was involved within the death of Michael Connell, so Michael Connell didn't whistleblower against him, all right? And so literally, not figuratively, literally, Russell Brand has those same "I'm going to kill you" eyes.
About and telling us about the COVID lockdowns, and the point of them was maybe the clearest explanation we have heard of what we've just lived through. Here it is.
I think COVID provided a lens through which we could scrutinize the machinery of power and how the intentions and agenda of power are able to play out, coalesce, and let's call it conspire when a crisis occurs. How a globalist tendency to increase surveillance, a big tech appetite to capture data, and a comparable appetite within government converge. As the great American comedian George Carlin used to say, there is no need for conspiracy where interests converge. It seems that even if at its advent it was a legitimate crisis, and I certainly wouldn't make any contention around that, it was opportunistically handled in order to enhance regulation and control.
Russell Brand is really good at sounding like he knows what he's talking about, and Tucker called him a Republican intellectual, but he's also good at just espousing New Age bull crap. Okay?
At a time where regulation and control are increasingly difficult to implement as people are more suspicious of institutional power. So in a sense, the best way to understand COVID, I believe, is to take COVID out of it and look at how the institutions, both corporate and government...
This man is friends with Yuval Noah Harari. Don't forget that. He is friends with Yuval Noah Harari. Okay? World Economic Forum. Don't forget that. This guy is not our guy. Okay? This guy is a total New Age deceptor who is working for Satan.
Behaved around it. How did they benefit? How did they utilize it? What narratives did they disseminate, and which narratives did they control and curtail? Even with the recent text messages from our health minister at that time, Matt Hancock, you can explicitly see it was exploited. Oh no, we need to scare people. Is there any way high net worth individuals can get into the country? All these conversations that many people that are cynical about the behavior of the powerful believed were happening were indeed happening. The way that natural immunity was discussed proved to be true, i.e. that natural immunity is effective. They probably understood earlier than they admitted that natural immunity was effective, and for reasons that, well, what could it be? What could be the reason that a monetizable solution to COVID was prioritized over a non-monetizable? Is there anyone involved in the situation that has a profit motive? Let's look at the data. And so what?
He is also on some sort of drugs, some sort of uppers. If it's not spirits making him this, looking like he's dead inside, but at the same time rambling very intelligently and coherently, but very much run-on sentences, then I don't know what's going on.
It was just revelatory, like the apocalypse always will be. The apocalypse is revelation of all what was always there. Corruption, convergence of interests, alliances.
That's not what Revelation is about. Now, granted, there is a revelation of the old world order to the new world order, the harlot to the beast system when the beast devours the harlot. But I mean, he's not using a biblical framework. He's using the Great Awakening. I mean, pretty much the way he discussed the Revelation, the end times, you could take it directly. You could say Alice Bailey said that. Alice Bailey stated that. It's the Great Rebellion. The Great Rebellion against tyranny. It's pretty much what Russell Brand is saying here, which biblically, that is not true. Biblically, that is known as the Great Apostasy, the Great Rebellion against God.
This is not conspiratorial. This is the moot recital of economic interests and the ordinary movements of the powerful. If people can honour one another and talk to one another in good faith and recognise that anybody is like this whole debate between like that I've sort of felt a little bit around me even for coming here. I feel like it used to just be normal that someone in your family would be a conservative and someone in your family would be liberal and someone in your family would be socialist and someone in your family would be trans and someone in your family would be gay, and different races are coming together.
It was just normal back in the day for someone in your family to be trans. It's normal back in the day for someone in your family to be gay. Conservative, liberal, socialist, communist, libertarian, libertine. What else, Russell?
ever.
Yes.
This is part of who we are. And if it isn't a part of who we are, it's certainly part of who we need to become. And it's something that we need to deeply, deeply encourage.
Remember, look at my previous episode where Tucker Carlson said, got to get over it. There's nothing wrong with gay marriage now. We've accepted that as a nation. And I'm paraphrasing, okay? The trans, that people, that's what we really got to stand up against. Moving the goalposts and ball forward, Tucker. And so, I mean, it's the same thing that, Russell Brand's saying here. The same exact thing. Oh, someone in your family used to be this. Someone in your family used to be that. Someone in your family used to be trans. Someone in your family used to be, you have a family member who is mixed race or black or Asian or a separate race other than you. Kind of lumping everything in together, right?
Immediately, in the moment now.
And you think that can be done?
It's the only option, and therefore it cannot be discussed, it must be implemented. Because the alternative, we can see, from the tendency towards geopolitical disaster, a set of centralized interests who seem to unconsciously be directing us towards nuclear Armageddon, if not with Russia, then with China. They have to be interrupted.
Fear-mongering, nuclear Armageddon, Sword of Damocles.
It simply has to happen. There is no choice. And in a situation where there's no choice, human ingenuity and our collegiate spirit must take over. We have no option but to find it in ourselves, to forgive one another, to move forwards, to love one another.
Oh, speaking Christian language like Barbara Marx Hubbard would as a New Ager, but none of this comes from God. None of this comes from the Holy Spirit. None of this comes from Jesus Christ. None of this comes from having born again and having faith. No, it's something we have to find within ourselves.
The values that may seem a little hokey and old-fashioned because they pertain to things that are ineffable and difficult to describe, but are vital and that we all understand.
Well, that was pretty intense. Definitely worth listening to. You can stream part 1 of our conversation.
All right. So there you go, the horseshoe effect, and why it's still, in effect. I want to thank Carlson Lineberger in the chat. He had actually sent this to me about Alex Jones pushing Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones saying that pretty much Obama was Q. Oh, me and Billy Ray are going to do a show on that, okay? I'm not going to play too much of it, all right? We're going to do a show on that, all right? But, just to see after I get done playing Roseanne Barr and Alex Jones last week, we have pushing, it's about to go nuclear with nukes, okay? Then Tucker Carlson, January 6th expose part 1, okay? And then The Truth, January 6th revealed. Tucker Carlson pledges to bring the goods, exposing January 6th. And Tucker Carlson laid a trap for the deep state, and they stepped right in it. Alex Jones provides live coverage of Tucker Carlson. And then a continuing pushing of it. Deep state putting massive pressure on Fox to stop Tucker Carlson from exposing the deep state. The Rupert Murdoch locked Tucker Carlson's January 6th investigation. Overt pressure forces Tucker Carlson to pull back January 6th video release. Steve Quell, major false prophet, New Ager, or nuclear war is imminent. Stop nuclear war before it is too late. Life site news. We got Catholic ecumenicalism.